Hello everybody, today we are going to discuss a poem named When Autumn Came by Faiz Ahmed Faiz, a very famous, a very popular Pakistani poet and writer who we can say after Mir, Iqbal and Ghalib, he is one of the most popular and famous writer and poet of Pakistan, who was born in Sialkot and lectured in Amritsar and then later became the editor of Pakistan Times there. So his poems originally written in Urdu have been translated a lot, especially in English and other languages, and here also this poem is a translation, and he is said to be a revolutionary poet, and he has written a lot about the troubled times, the war times, the partition times, the atrocities perpetrated on the common people, the masses, by the power-hungry people in the times of, say, riots and such, how the masses and common people are treated by the cruel people, the power-hungry ones, the warmongers and such. So this feeling, this idea has been communicated here in this poem in a very perfect and symbolic manner. Autumn stands as a symbol, it is a metaphor for those people who are warmongers, who are cruel, who are atrocious, who are savage and perform we can say atrocities on the masses. So autumn has been symbolized as such. It stands as a metaphor for such people, and the poet finally, after depicting such a state, we can say a state of all bloodshed and violence and suffering and torture, he finally prays to God to spread life there, propagate happiness and peace there. So this is the whole idea of the poem. Now let's see how it has all been conveyed here in this poem by Faiz Ahmed Faiz. So this is the way that autumn came to the trees. It stripped them down to the skin, left their ebony bodies naked. So this is how autumn season comes. That autumn season, a season which has been described by different poets in different ways. If we talk of John Keats, who was the youngest of the Romantic poets, and John Keats has described autumn in a very different manner, explaining and saying that autumn has its beauty too, a different kind of beauty, unlike that of spring. So he has described autumn in that way, but here, according to Faiz, autumn is a season that disturbs, that affects our heart, soul and body. So it has been described as such, a season like representing violence and disturbance and cruelty. So it has been represented as such a season here. So when autumn comes, how it happens, how it affects the atmosphere, that even the trees, like the trees even lose their barks, they become all naked, their ebony bodies, ebony here black, ebony trees, which are, we can say, quite particular to the African countries, but here again it has been taken as a symbol. We can say it's about the people, like the common people, the masses, who are treated very bad in such violent times by the war-hungry people, the power-hungry people, the warmongers. How they treat, they just beat them, they thrash them, they punish them, they put them into prison, and what, they are tortured and they are tormented. So this is the kind of treatment they are met with. So that's what the poet is trying to say, that when autumn comes, what happens, that the trees, they stand completely naked, that even the bark goes away. As mentioned, that it stripped them down to the skin, that is the whole skin. So this is how the people are treated in such troubled times, that their skins are peeled off like that, they are tormented and they are tortured that much. So here, this is how this such times tells on the common people, the masses, and then it shook out their hearts. What? The yellow leaves. So in autumn season, the leaves turn yellow, and here the poet is saying it's like their hearts, it shook out their hearts, the yellow leaves. So of course the leaves are like hearts to the trees, and what it scattered them down to the ground. So yes, what in such times what happens, that these people, they are treated so badly, they are beaten up so badly, they are punished so in such a horrible and terrible manner, that one can stand aghast by watching all that savage behavior upon these people. Like their heart, they can't speak their heart out. They can't speak their heart out. They are so crushed and they are so beaten. They are so fear-stricken. That's how happened to them. It's all the feelings. They have to keep it all locked up in their hearts. Or it is like that, or they they have to live without their heart. It is like that. The situation becomes like that for these people. Anyone could trample them out of shape, undisturbed by a single moan of protest. So what? These leaves which are shaken out of the trees, which lie down on the ground, so they are trampled and crushed by the people, these powerful people, and they are undisturbed. They don't care for these people. They are undisturbed and unaffected. They are not moved by their situation. They mourn, they wail, they cry, they sob, expressing their feelings and emotions, and what? Their feelings, their wails, their cries go unheard. They are not at all moved. These people, they are so brute and they are so savage that they are unaffected by their cries and their wails and their protests. Though in general they don't protest, and even if they protest, that goes in just one moan and one cry, and that even is not heard by these people. They are not disturbed or affected by their cries and their wails. And the birds that herald dreams were exiled from their song. So in autumn season, what happens, that the birds, even the birds are gone. They migrate to other places. They leave the trees because the trees are leafless and bare, so they don't have any shelter to make their nest and live on there. They lose their habitats. So same way, those people, the leaders, those who are in front line, they are what? They are exiled, they are banished, they are driven away, they are chased away. And what? They who give a hope to these common people, that yes, there will be justice, that yes, there will be what? A society, an egalitarian society. Those who promise this, they are exiled and they are driven away. So in autumn season, we don't hear the birds, we don't see the birds. So this is what happens when such time comes. Then these people are driven away, those who promise hope, and those who lead the common people, they are all suppressed, and each voice torn out of their throat. So just as autumn season takes the voice out of the throat of these birds. We don't hear the singing and sweet songs of these birds. We hear the birds singing when it is springtime, when it is monsoon and such. So at that time we hear the happy twittering and chirruping of these birds. But here in autumn season the birds or migrate to other places and we don't hear their chirruping and twittering. So here the same thing, the poet is saying that these people, the leaders, those who are in front line, that these their voices have been torn out of their throats. It means their protests are suppressed. Their protests are suppressed, they are all crushed and they are imprisoned, or they are just driven away from that place. So their voice goes unheard and futile, and they dropped into the dust even before the hunter strung the bow. So like what? Just even before the hunter aims at the bird, the autumn season, the atrocities of autumn season, the cruelty of autumn season kills the bird. It means what? The people who try to protest, the people who try to become the voice of the masses, when they come ahead, what? The cruelty, the violence, the surrounding full of violence and savagery and bruteness and cruelty, it kills them even before they are killed by the opponent forces or the cruel people. They die, or their voices are suppressed into the dust. They are killed, they are buried into dust. So this is what happens, those who try to become the voice of the masses. And now the poet says in the third stanza that, "O God of May, have mercy," because it is autumn season, that's why he is invoking God of May. So, "O God of May, have mercy," is trying to say that, "Oh God, just show some mercy, just show some kindness, just have some favor or offer some favor to these people, just show some mercy to these people, bless these withered bodies. Bless these withered bodies with the passion of your resurrection." Like these trees, they are all withered and wilted and drooped and they are dying. So please just give them the blessing of resurrection, give them the blessing of revival, let them come back to life, let the blood flow into their dried veins, as he's saying in the next line, "Make their dead veins flow with blood again." So as the veins have got dried and there is what? They are all dry and parched, the trees. So let the blood circulate again and let the blood flow again in their veins, in their body. And the poet says what it means is, let the passion grow again, let those who have been suppressed, let the masses who have been tortured and suppressed, let them come up again, let them resurrect, let them come back to life. So God, please show mercy and bring them back to life. Give some tree the gift of green again, let one bird sing. So let these trees be showered with greenery, let the life flourish and prosper again. At least one bird, it means at least one, let one have his say here in such times before these people. Because birds they twitter, they sing, and they create a happy atmosphere. So the poet is trying to say, let the happiness prevail, let at least one have its say, let the one speak out what there is buried in their heart and express their feelings here. Let at least one do it, let just one. and let the peace prevail, because only then it can happen. If the people are allowed to express their feelings, if the people are allowed to have their stand and just have to show their protest and to express their feelings, and they are allowed to have their voices raised up, only then there can be peace and harmony and happiness. So let the happiness prevail, let the peace prevail, let at least one should speak up and come ahead and fight for the cause of these people. Let this happen. So this is how he is expressing his feelings about the common people in such times of trouble and war and disturbance and upheaval and turbulence, that what happens when such an atmosphere prevails and how the common masses feel. So we can say to talk about the form and style. So there are irregular lines here, irregular lines of irregular length here, and then what the poem, we can say, though poet has tried to rhyme, but there is no rhyme here, there is no particular rhyme. And the other thing about this poem is it's symbolic and metaphoric. The autumn season, the trees, the birds, they are all symbolic and they suggest a different meaning here, as he explained here in this poem. So I hope you understood what I explained and how the idea is. So be tuned for more such poems, and if you want me to explain any particular poem, you just make a comment in the comment box and I'll try to come up with a video on that. So till then, bye bye. Thank you very much.